so first disclaimer is that I did not come up with the name myself. I arrived at the role, the name was already there, and I was not being able to change it yet. But if you look past the name, I promise you there are a couple of interesting things you might be able to take from it. So that's just some of the places I've worked before. So now currently at Shell. At Shell, I don't have to introduce Shell to anyone. Massive player, just a few numbers for context here, a few stats, and some of the sectors that we cover in the B2B space. So my team is basically covering use cases in the B2B sector for oil lubricants, and these are some of the sectors we cover. We're actually not in a corporate Shell office, as you would imagine. We're actually just across the river from the main Shell building. We're at a WeWork office in Aldwych. So we're a group of product managers, designers, engineers, data analysts, and we're co-located with engineering, cross-functional teams, and we work in an agile, sort of lean fashion. This product has come up from this need of having poor access to information. Someone just mentioned how frustrating can be information retrieval. So our customers were finding that. So our customers, as you need to imagine, so to empathize with them. So they're like owners of small or medium-sized businesses. Either you may own a fleet company, a construction company, or maybe you're in the business of power. So it's quite broad. So you either transact with Shell directly or you transact via distributors, through the indirect sector. So they are all finding struggles to find access to technical, specific information to their business to find out like which alternative oil should I be using on this engine, or what's the viscosity of that particular product that I need to use on this tractor. So this is where Lubechat came into place. So the solution was a chatbot. So Shell, as many other corporate companies, big companies, they jumped onto the chatbots almost like before actually having a proper website. They had all this information well laid out and indexed and so on. So it was kind of like go for the innovation first. We're actually live in these 10 countries right now and getting another country up in a month. So before I kind of show you the UI and some of the things we did, I just want to show you these two building blocks that my team pays a lot of attention to. So we work with a provider of NLP called Artificial Solutions. So they provide basically these two blocks as we work with them. So I'm not going to spend too much time on natural language understanding, but that's what all the main platforms will do. Dialogflow, Lewis, some other platforms we'll mention today, as well as this one. I'm actually going to spend some time on question and answer triggering. So a lot of people don't realize, but there's still a lot of these trees when it comes to triggering the right answer to the question that was made. And it's still kind of like a lot of if statements. So it's like if the word is this, trigger this answer. If the word is that, trigger that answer. And that can be based on language variables, which is where our provider started off. So they started doing a lot of what they call linguistic coding. So they would have all these variables. So it'd say, so they would have a variable called hi, and if you double click on that variable, you actually see hello, hey, hi. So all of the variations for that particular language. So they'll have that across a number of languages. But you can also apply a machine learning classifier to this decision point and do an actual classification in real time to decide, okay, the classifier is gonna decide which answer I'm gonna take here. So our provider has been adding that over the last few months. I'm happy to say that for most countries now we're using the classifier as opposed to the previous rule-based one. It's got a higher success rate than the previous linguistic coding technique. So our provider is kind of treating themselves, we've got a hybrid system now because we've got all the manual language NLP stuff, but also got the machine learning on top. Plus some other players out in the market, the big players, they tend to go straight to machine learning. If you're wondering, is it all fixed, a pre-established tree? Not necessarily. There's something called generative models that you can go into, but again, this is the advanced stuff that some companies have been starting to experiment with. I think that Skype bot from Microsoft that ended up becoming racist was using a generative model, because that's the risk that you get. It's pretty free flow in terms of it decides for itself like how to build the response in real time using the language instead of having prefixed answers. But it's a bit out of control, so you can kind of get racist, say the wrong things at the wrong time, and so on. Okay, so a few things that we did on Lubechat. So like I said, Partner is now leveraging both approaches, so it's got a hybrid approach there. It's got these multi-directed flow, so it remembers context, so you won't always get the same answer for the same question, basically. Depends on where you've been talking to it in terms of the knowledge base. It's got a mobile-first interface, even though it also sits on the desktop on many pages of shell. And we're working on complementing with real agents, so actually we're going back to going straight to fully automated. Shell actually doesn't have live chat yet as a channel. Surprisingly, it only has phone number and email. So we're looking to get some agents trained on doing live chat, actually handing off the conversation from the bot to an agent in real time. Once the conversation gets tough for the bot, and the bot cannot handle it. A few of the things we did, so obviously need to handle small talk, so we prepare for this, so for questions like that. It actually also gives different answers. So if you say hi, it will say hello, and if you say hi again, it will say hi, how are you? It will give you variations of answers for the same question in terms of small talk. It's got these mixed elements. You'll see at the quick demo I'll do at the end, but it's got these mixed UI elements with full text, so you can actually always text. I think I had it here before. You can always type something at the bottom, so there's no like choosing 2 or 3 options. There's no option to choose it. It's really free flowing text and tries to understand what we're saying in natural language. But we also mixed elements, like if you push on the hamburger menu, it pushes out a menu with the most popular questions. It's got this migration flow, so if it doesn't know what you're talking about, instead of trying to make an attempt and probably get it wrong, it will give you another tree of options like, oh, you're talking about transmission oils, but what do you mean? Do you want to compare some, or do you know a specific one do you want to know about, or do you know the brand? So it kind of guides you through that. It's got a grocery feature for the terms. This is one of my favorites. It's got product search using autocomplete. So if it asks you to, okay, which product do you want to talk about, and then you click a button, and it will actually bring this new view built through the front end. And as you type each character, it will filter down that list very fast on an index search. So it makes the experience quicker. These were some of the screens I was going to show. I'll get back to a demo in a second. Actually, I will show you the demo now. It's probably better because of the flow. Skip this. So I did this a couple of hours before, just to kind of just scroll and show you. So this is how it introduces itself. So hi, I'm Shelly. Shelly. And these are some of the popular questions. These are actually from the data we see these are the top 3 most popular questions. So we leave it already there, so they can already click and start. But I actually started this conversation by just with a small talk. So, hey, what time is it? It said it's 9:55. Do you know why it said 9:55 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago? Because this is the instance in India. So we've got ways to hit the different countries. This is actually the Indian version of it. So I said, do you have any info on greases? I'm using like things like you, right? And it says, oh yeah, the brand I know for Shell's range of greases is Gados. And then he asked me here, but you can't see, was this answer helpful, yes or no? I said yes. So he said, okay, your answer was helpful. And then I selected Gados. And then it responded here. So I responded with Gados with that selection. So when you make a selection, it actually prints the selection you made. It's okay, here's what I know about Shell Gados range. And then you've got these elements here that you can expand. So in this case, there's only one option. So view the Gados products. So I selected that. So I found you 42 products from the Gados range. Which one would you like? So this is what I meant before. So when you click here, it pushes this view, and then you can start auto-completing basically, and it quickly gets to the one you want. But I had already made the selection back there. So selected that one, and so okay, here are the, here. So I selected that one, And then I said, okay, thanks. Show me the pack sizes. Pack sizes kind of the SKUs, the sizes of the barrels that will come to. So I said, show me some pack sizes, and then there's a bit of disambiguation here. Are you talking still about this context of this product, or you want to know different products? So no, it's actually this product. So okay, here are the pack sizes, which you can expand if you, like, when there's a big table, it provides you this expansion. And I say, great, where can I buy this? And then it depends on the volume. So depending on if it's a big customer or smaller customer, we have to send them to different places. So I said, 30 liters in a year is what I normally buy. Okay, great. What's your PIN code? What's your postcode in India? So I put that postcode. So okay, this is the distributor contact. That's the furthest we can go in the sales funnel. We don't have an API yet to kind of process the entire sale in here. That would be like the ultimate goal when we link, you know, a chatbot conversation to ultimate revenue. We've got estimates. We've been able to estimate the revenue from sales attribution and from saving that contact center call because the bot is deflecting those queries in the in-between. So that's the demo. Come back to this. How am I doing with time?
2 more minutes.
2 more minutes. Be very data driven. So I'm going to have to skip through this quickly. But we've been a very data-driven team for our analytics, setting out, you know, monthly active users, which by the way have about 6,500 unique users every month coming onto this. Setting the right bot performance metrics, which I've got a few, actually just on the side here. So this is one page of our dashboard. It's got 9 pages, you can see, and it's got things like the percentage of questions resolved. Trivia question, how would you think I would determine success here of I resolve the query?
Those questions, were they useful, helpful?
That's one way, but unfortunately, as you can see here, that is the percentage of people that reply. So we've got actually more positive feedback than negative, which I find amazing, but still a lot of people don't click. But that is the first reaction. Any other?
I'd say when you got to the call to action, so you go through the process until you reach the call to action to actually buy.
Yeah, almost. So it's, remember I showed you the trees?
Yeah.
So those trees are predetermined, right? So when we hit the lower leaf of the tree, so we say, okay, we hit success because through our design, that was a successful question. That's how we measure that. And we're always putting the targets up and up every quarter. Just to finalize, I'm not running out of time. This is one of the pages of the reports, my favorite page. So we basically list out all the different topics of conversation, and then there's a machine learning classifier that classifies them a posteriori, and then it tells you like the percentage of completion, how many negative feedback we had on each one, positive feedback, the ratios, everything, how the countries are doing compared to them, so we can direct the team to focus on the topics that require more work because the bot is either not understanding or not having great success rates. That's it. And we've done some lean experiments as well. So the live chat thing, we were trying to show to the business how valuable, how much customers wanted the live chat interaction as well. So we put a button with a fake door, basically saying, "Do you want to chat to a human now at this stage?" And just measure how many people will click on that, but actually not showing anything there. It's not available at the moment yet, but continue with the bot. So we've been able to show the business the value of these things. I'm going to have to skip through this. Yeah, some of the things were considered. That's it. Sorry, ran out of time. Thank you.